In the recent incident of ongoing conflicts between Israel and Palestine, basically few more nations are making a little bit more of headlines, including the US, Russia, or Saudi Arabia. However, which country is making the maximum noise? That is Iran. Iran has actually issued a warning to Israel that the Muslims, Ummah, or the leaders of Palestinians, they are not going to stop against the Israeli atrocities, and Iran is going to be with them till the very end. In fact, there are coming the warnings also from the side of Iran that they may invade on Israel if the Israel does not stop these attacks. So in this session, we will find out that what are the relations, equations between Iran and Israel, and why is Iran making so much of noise, making so much of aggressive comments about Israel, and basically what has been the history of these two countries' relations. What is Hezbollah, what is Hamas, all these things we will try to understand. So welcome everybody to this session. My name is Abhishek Singh Rathore and I welcome you all on the StudyIQ IAS English channel. So let's get started, but before proceeding, let me tell you about a very important thing, that StudyIQ IAS is actually offering a wonderful plethora of the optional subjects where the students have got the multiple choices to choose from. Any particular subject you select for your optionals, and you have the silver, gold, and platinum, the variable duration programs, where if you use my code ASR Live, you are able to get these at a very nominal costs. The different batches are starting from the different days, and for further information, you can download our application, or you can directly visit our website, and you can also enroll directly by selecting these programs from the website or the application. And in case if you want the content of this particular program or any particular program of mine, you can simply join my Telegram channel by scanning this QR code. Let's go to the topic. So basically the news is that Iran has been continuously threatening Israel that it may face severe consequences, maybe a double-sided invasion on the Israeli country if it does not stop its aggression over the Hamas particularly and Palestinian in general. And this particular news has also been in the air that Iran has actually insisted, or in fact not insisted but directed the organization called Hezbollah, which is basically located in Lebanon, to start a double-sided war with Israel. In fact, you all might be going through these type of news. You all might be having a lot of speculations, lot of opinions about it, but here we will simply put the things together from the perspective of an academician, from the perspective of an aspirant of civil services. What should be more important? The equation of relationship between the two important nations of Middle East, that is more important. So when we talk about this incidents where Iran has issued the warning to Israel, basically they did not directly take the name of any particular country. Rather, they simply said that whichever organization has done this incidents, that is attack over Israel, the Iranian supreme leader Ayatollah Khomeini, he said that he is ready to kiss the hands of that person. We often get to hear these type of things whenever we try to bestow the exceptional praises upon someone, and this is the praise coming from the side of Iranian leader, which led to the speculation that there might be at the behest of Iran, there might be the attack also from Hamas or from Hezbollah in the near times. However, the retaliation which was done by Israel, that was quite expected, but it will be such a massive retaliation. This was a little bit unexpected. Therefore, now what remains to be seen, that whether Iran will still take a step ahead to attack Israel or not. So let us find out the Iranian angle of attack, suppose if we talk about what are the basis on which leading to the allegations on Iran. So the basis upon which we are having such type of assessment or such type of allegations upon Iran, that basically that Iran is actually having a very old history of the conflicts with Israel. In fact, let me tell you that prior to the 1979 revolution, the great Islamic revolution in Iran, as it is called, prior to which the Pahlavi rulers, they used to rule Iran, and Iran was significantly a liberal country, as it was a Shia country who are regarded conveniently liberal as compared to the Sunni sect of Islam under the general perception. However, when Iran faced the Islamic revolution in 1979, the equation suddenly got changed. In fact, let me tell you, since that revolution, Iran has not waged any direct wars on Israel. However, it has been supporting the proxy war groups in the Israeli nation as well as in the nearby zones wherever the Shias are in little bit of stress, little bit of danger. Because Iran basically sees the population of Shias, that is maximum in Iran, of course, it sees the population of Shias as the continuation of the cultural sphere of Iran. So it basically tries to establish a cultural hegemony in that region, in whenever, in whichever area there is the population of Shias. All right, everyone. So apart from that, if we talk about such proxy groups which are basically helped by Iran, these include the groups like Fatemiyu Brigade in Syria and the Badr organization in Iraq. Similarly, the Houthis is there in Yemen. They are actually working in a very close relation. In fact, I would say in extreme coherence with the Iranian administration. But the question arises that still, is it possible that Hamas might have the similar coherence with Iranian administration? The basic question still remains, because these are the organizations primarily based on the Shia sect. However, Hamas, on the other hand, Hamas is a little bit different. And why so? Because if we talk about the previous organizations, they are all basically the result of Iranian support due to which they emerged. However, Hamas is not only the result of Iranian support. Hamas is also the outcome of the internal conflicts which emerged during the struggles led by Palestinian Liberation Organization. So therefore, it will be not absolutely correct to say that Hamas is entirely relying upon Iran and its guidance. In fact, let me tell you, Hamas is actually an exceptional case where the country which is supporting it and the benefactor, the organization which is getting benefits from that country, no other examples are there apart from a few exceptional cases where the country and the organization are having the visible examples of the rift. All right. So therefore, it will be a fast observation, I would say, but not correct in the truest sense to assert that Hamas is actually working on the behest of Iran. Only Shia and Sunni angle is not there. As I told you that Hamas is a Sunni organization and Iran is a Shia country, largely promoting and you can say propagating the Shia sectarianism. See, still there is a common angle of Islam versus Judaism. However, let me tell you one more thing. Basically, USA, it is also being actively playing a role in this area where it has been, active since probably I would say in the post-World War era only. Therefore, it's not that easy for Iran, which is trying to, maintain and make over its image with respect to the nuclear program. So it will not be that much easy for Iran to support such type of organization directly to lead an attack on the closest ally of USA, which is Israel. But let me tell you that if you observe the history, the historical relation between Iran and Israel, then the picture changes completely. For example, Israel and Iran, once upon a time, of course, they had a very cordial relation. But as I told you that during the Islamic Revolution in Iran, the complete history that was vanished. Why so? Because the regime in the Iran, which was liberal, open enough to have a cordial relation with the Jewish country of Israel, that regime was replaced with relatively orthodox and comparatively, you can say, theological regime of the Atayullah Khomeinis or Atayullahs and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, when we talk about the close relations, let me just tell you, basically Iran was under the great influence of the communism when the Soviet Union was there. And despite that, because Israel, a natural ally of US, it was established at the behest of US, Iran closer to the US, but one of the section of Iranian population that was closer to the USSR. Guys, let me tell you that why was it so? Because even if you go to the treaty, that is in 1907, there was a treaty called as the Treaty of Anglo-Russian Alliance, right? So that basically was the part of history where the British had decided to keep the influence on the one part of Iran, and the Russians, the USSR, that was not there, but Russians were there. They had decided to keep the influence on the northern and eastern parts of Iran. So basically, what happened? The northern part from west to east, that was under the influence of USSR after the World War II. And after the Second World War, the area which was under the influence of UK, right, UK, that was actually transferred. The influence was, replaced by the American influence. The British influence was replaced by American influence. However, when we talk about the regime, right, so let me tell you that both countries had the close ties with the US as well as considered fighting the Soviet Union. So what can we say? That the Iranian regime of the Pahlavid rulers, they had the close relations with the US. Therefore, they were working liberally and actively with Israel. But when we talk about the opponents in Iran, basically those who would be supporting the Islamic Revolution, they had the sensitivity towards the USSR. I'm sorry, right? USSR. So overall, we can see the very important impact of Cold War era. The shift in the Iranian regime that actually led to the shift of Iran from the side of US, the capitalist, towards the side of the USSR, the socialist, right? And therefore, from that point onward, Israel, the closest ally of US, it became an antagonist for Iran. In fact, let me tell you that Iran basically believed after 1979, when the Islamic Revolution took place in Iran, as I told you numerous times, after that, Iran started considering Israel as a country which was established forcefully upon the lands of the Muslims, and therefore, what happened? Iran also started treating the US as the enabler of Israel, at the behest of which Israel was actually, bullying the countries in the nearby areas, right? Therefore, what happened? Iran basically, it projected the assertion of the Mustazafin. Okay, Mustazafin means what? The oppressed, against the Mustakbirin, the oppressors. The two terms are very significant terms. Basically, the fundamental Islamic belief that asserts a set of thought, for example, where you are supposed to fight on behalf of those who are suppressed, who are oppressed. And therefore, Iran, treating itself as an ideal proponent of the Islamic faith, they decided to take the side of Palestinians against Israel, whom they treated as an invader, as an oppressor. So this is the basic reason because of which Iran turned against the Israeli country. Now you can see the map here. Basically, Iran is located, here. This is the location of Iran. The yellow color, it actually indicates the population of the Shia community, and you can see very well that almost entire Iran is occupied by the Shia population, leaving a large minority of the Iraqi population, as well as, if you observe it very clearly, you will also find that the Syria is having a significant number of Shias. Apart from that, Lebanon, that's also having a significant number. All right. And apart from Syria and Lebanon, even Turkey also has got significant number of the Shia population. So overall, let me tell you one more thing, that overall Iran had two options. What were the two options? Number one, it started supporting the rebellious Shia groups not only in Iraq but also in Syria as well as in Turkey, and not only that, even in the region of Kuwait and Yemen, etc. Got it? So in the immediate vicinity of Israel, you can see the Lebanon, which is the northern neighbor of Israel. It has got the Shia population just at the border of northern Israel, and this was a very convenient population, very convenient demography for the Iranian benefit, which was now looking to create the problems for existence of Israel. So therefore, the question that Israel, should it exist or not, that became very, very important. So basically, Iran, which was now a changed country after 1979, it started thinking that Israel or any Zionism, that is basically nothing but the imperialist attitude of the Western countries, particularly the Christianity and the Judaism. Both are imperialist powers thriving against the Islamic land, and must be eradicated. So therefore, what happened? After that period, even the Arab governments, they also became extremely assertive, extremely aggressive upon the established rights of the Muslims in that area. Now, let me tell you that it is not like that Arab countries were supporting Israel earlier. It's not like that. Arab countries, they had been in the opposition of Israel, or the establishment of that, since the very establishment itself. However, looking at the support coming from the Shia country, Iran, even they started asserting their support. They started basically, extending their support to the Palestinians, because the Palestinian population was largely derived from the Sunni sect. So this was the result of, you can say, a competition, an internal competition. However, as I told you, that Iran, which looked itself as the leader of the entire faith, so it was very necessary for Iran to, start moving close and closer towards Palestinian leaders. And Iran took this step when it started supporting the Palestinian Liberation Organization. This Palestinian Liberation Organization, it was basically the struggling organization for the rights of the self-determination for Palestinian population. Since 1969, one charismatic leader who was an extremely popular figure among the Palestinians, Yasser Arafat, he took the charge of that. And Yasser Arafat, however, even though he seemed to be very close to Ayatollah Khomeini, but let me tell you that even when the government of Iran, what happened? Basically, the Provisional Revolutionary Government of Iran, the prime minister of that, they started supporting not only the Palestinian Liberation Organization, but they also handed over the building of Israeli consulate located in Iran, the capital of Iran, Tehran, of course. Just imagine the rampage, imagine the situation. They actually handed over the Israeli consulate building, the embassy of Israel, that building, to the Palestinian leaders. And that was a step which was regarded as extremely detrimental for the Israel and Iran relations. Iran was not at all interested to even consider Israel as a country or as a legitimate state either. So that basically what happened? That basically led to the complete shift of Iranian position towards the Palestinian. However, as I told you, the Shia and Sunni angle that always worked, and that was evidently visible when there was the Iraq-Iran battle. Iraq, which was led by Saddam Hussein. It was primarily a Sunni country with the minority population of Kurd, Yazidi and Shias. Therefore, it was very obvious, very natural for Yasser Arafat to support Saddam Hussein against Iran, which agitated Atayullah, and afterwards Iran started finding or exploring some other options apart from the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which resulted into the establishment of the alternative groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, etc. Got it, everybody? So this is basically the reason due to which it is suggested that there might be a possibility that Hamas might be getting directions or support in any form from Iranian establishment, because the birth of Hamas, that was basically the outcome of Iranian effect on the Palestinian groups. Now let me tell you that basically Iran wanted to create an axis of resistance against the Israeli presence, and therefore what happened? Therefore, now it started supporting the new and emerging forces in the Palestine and Lebanon, where in the Lebanon, what happened? Hezbollah, that was established, right? Hezbollah, that was a Shia group. In fact, it was founded in 1982, and it drew the inspiration from the similar Shia groups in Iran, which led to the Iranian Revolution. And apart from that, Hamas was established in the upcoming years, like in 1987 probably. That Hamas became one of the closer allies, at least better than the PLO in the Palestinian groups. Now, when we talk about the Iranian position on Israel, till now in our discussion we have clearly understood that Iran had cordial relations with Israel. Later on, due to the revolution in Iran, the nature of relations with Israel completely changed. It went towards Palestine. Now, even the Palestinian Liberation Organization had ditched Iran. So now Iran is exploring the other alternatives, where it led to the establishment of Hamas and Hezbollah. And then the position of Iran towards the existence of Israel, that will be completely different. So what happened? Basically, Islamic Republic Iran, it actually played a major role in the regional politics, and even the confrontation with Israel is always an integral part of the Iranian foreign policy. In fact, let me tell you, even the Israeli state, that also retaliates very similarly. It says that Iran is their number one enemy in the entire region, more than Saudi Arab, more than any other Arab country. Let me tell you that Israel is actually looking forward, in fact, before this attack done by Hamas, Israel was on the, Israel-Arab talks, they were on the cards. Israel was looking or exploring the options to have a close tie with Saudi Arab. Israel has already established the close ties with UAE. If you remember the Abraham Accords, even India also became the beneficiary of it when India became the part of I2, U2, right? So these things were a positive change in the mindset of the Arab countries. That means we can say that the Arab tension with Israel, that was somehow getting diluted, looking at the business and commercial interest of the trade relations between Arab and Israel. However, Iran's stance was absolutely different, absolutely different. No change from its old stance since 1979, even now. All right. So we can say that Iran, which is the strengthening force of Hezbollah and Hamas, it's quite possible that both of these organizations are getting some sort of support. For example, if you just compare the existence of Hamas and the existence of Hezbollah, you can actually understand the basic difference, where Hamas is not only the result of uprising of 1987, right? But also it is the result of the struggle which was going within the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Iran only gave the, a little bit of air to the infuming system of PLO, due to which it simply got bifurcated and an alternative organization got established. On the other hand, Hezbollah, it was directly the result of oppression which was going on in Lebanon for 15 long years during a civil war. And since the population that was concerned, they were Shias. Therefore, Iran facilitated the organization or establishment of that organization. Okay. So overall, we can say that Hamas was more independent as compared to Hezbollah. However, the funding part, that's always there with the Hamas, coming from the side of Iran as well as the Lebanonian Hezbollah group as well. Okay. So overall, what can we say? Overall, if the question is asked finally that what is the possibility, like, will Iran invade Israel directly? The simple answer that comes to the mind, that is, despite having the toughest of the relations with Israel, despite having the extreme hatred, in fact, the denial of the existence, the right to exist for Israel, that right does not exist for Iran. Iran does not recognize Israel as a legitimate country. Still, it's very, very unlikely that Iran is going to invade Israel. And why so? Why? What is the reason? Actually, as I told you, that Iran is actually working upon the image rebuilding. You all might be aware about the nuclear programs and the restrictions put upon Iranian regime by P5+1 countries, which are the observer countries for the Iran's nuclear program. So Iran basically needs the funds. We all are aware that Iranian oil is no more a subject of fund churning for Iranian economy because of the restrictions and the economic sanctions put forward by the US government. Therefore, Iran needs funds, and in the lieu of good conduct by Iranian regime, USA, let me tell you, USA, it had promised the access to $6 billion in the assets along with Qatar. They had actually restricted. Why? Because the investigation of Iran's role in this Hamas attack, that is being investigated by America, and even Qatar is helping America in that. Overall, we can say that Iran has now been stuck in a conundrum, in a, you can say, a doldrum situation, where it finds it very, very difficult, because some of the Arab countries are visibly supporting US. It just might be noted down that even UAE gave the statement that it always keeps commercial interests and the political interests separate. What does that mean? That clearly means that UAE has nothing to do with it. If Hamas has invaded Israel, let Israel retaliate. UAE doesn't have a problem. As simple as that. Saudi Arab, which was pondering to have a close relations with Israel through the pacts, etc. Even though the pact between Israel and Saudi Arab has been postponed, that does not mean that there are no possibilities in near future. But Iran, it has been caught off the guard because Hamas and Hezbollah both are indulged into the war and both have a very close linked history with Iranian country, and therefore the investigation is going on which has stopped the access to 6 billion US dollar funds assets of Iran, and therefore it's very difficult for Iran to have the direct involvement into this matter because it will further escalate the troubles for Iran. So I hope that all of you got a very clear picture that why is Iran making the headlines, what is the role of Iran in this entire conflict, and what are the possibilities in the near future in this matter. So thank you so much for watching it, guys, and make it sure that in case if you are preparing for civil services examination and if you are having any sort of confusion or any choices of the optionals, you can actually come along with us. We are providing some of the best faculties dealing with the optional subjects, and therefore it will be once in a life type of opportunity for all of you to avail these courses at such pocket friendly cost with the variable durations. Like if you are getting this silver pack, you will be having 18 months of duration, gold pack 30 months, platinum 42 months. What does that duration mean? Actually, it means that you will not just have the access to the live classes, but also you'll have the access to the recorded videos, which is a very big positive, because usually whenever we do optional subjects, we don't get the access for a long period of time, max to max like 1 year, 2 years, that's all. Here we are giving the access and the opportunity to avail these courses for like 42 months. That's a big number. So the students who are looking forward to, be the early birds to start the preparations early, they have got a wonderful opportunity to join these. And therefore, it is a very great thing to do, because if you are using this code ASR Live, my name Abhishek Singh Rathore Live, ASR Live, that can be a beneficial code for you. Why? Because if you want to purchase these courses in the least possible price, one option is there, only one option: use my code ASR Live. All right. And in case you want the content of this class, then you can scan this QR code and join my Telegram channel. And guys, before leaving, just leave a like on this video and make it sure that you share this class with the friends, so that it is a completely useful video for your examination and also useful for your general awareness. So it will be extremely great if you share that. Thank you so much for watching it, guys. Take care and Jai Hind.